everybody. Today I just wanted to touch on informed consent. Informed consent, both written and verbal, are required by the ACA Code of Ethics. This is to allow the client freedom on whether or not they would like to enter or remain in a counseling relationship. Remley and Hurley, our authors of our textbook, actually state that this is very important to show the client that we respect their self-autonomy and self-determination before they're able to give consent to enter into a counseling relationship. The ACA Code of Ethics has laid out pertinent information that they are to be informed of before making their decision. Information such as their rights as a client, their rights of a counselor, purposes and goals, procedures and techniques that may be used, potential risks and benefits, as well as counselor qualifications, credentials, relevant experience, and even the role of technology, just to name a few. In Florida, a counselor is legally obligated to disclose the 3 reasons why they would break confidentiality with the client. These 3 reasons being suspected child abuse, dependent adult or elder abuse, if a client is threatening serious bodily harm to another person, or if a client intends to harm him or herself. Those would be the 3 reasons why a counselor would break confidentiality. I did review a informed consent document that belongs to a licensed family and marriage therapist. The consent form listed out client rights such as the right to review their own documents, the right to refuse certain services, the right to end treatment at any time, as well as the right to return to treatment. Under the client rights, it did also list that the counselor has the right to dismiss the client from treatment. It didn't disclose any other information along those lines. It just says the counselor has the right to dismiss client from treatment. Underneath that, it had general information and went into a little bit more detail. So for instance, it talked about financial responsibility, appointment cancellations, the use of technology, referrals, and confidentiality. One section I found extremely interesting was that the counselor did put in a portion entitled No Secrets Policy with Couples or Families. Underneath that, he wanted to discuss that he views couples or families as a treatment unit and therefore has the right to decide if and when he speaks to someone separately. He will use his judgment to discuss what there is said in that counseling session with the unit. And he says he'll use his best judgment to decide whether something is revealed, when it's disclosed, and as well as how much of it is disclosed. So I found that very interesting that he did go ahead and list that out. So along with discussing how he treats the family and couple as a unit, he also touched on the benefits and the risks that the client may experience during the counseling process. In all, I feel like the sample that I reviewed laid out pretty much everything that the ACA Code of Ethics states that we should be laying out in our consent forms. The only thing I didn't see was purposes and goals of counseling, but he did list a initial assessment portion, so I just wonder if that comes up in that section of the counseling process. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for any responses that you guys may have. I hope everyone has a great week, and God bless.